start the way we start by Clarissa Big Muzwales, Sakumono Estates. I mean, Tough Mat, Tofik from Tough Mat. What is it that you do? Come and get some free mileage here, man. Type it out. You've been loyal enough to deserve some free mileage. Tofik, is there no summary of what you do? What's the summarized version? I really appreciate the support you give to my little company, and may Allah bless you. And Nana, please, I would like you to support, to show a little, with a little cause. This show is so educational and teaches patriotism on our nation. Just type in this and you asked, what do we do? Also, Tough Mats Technologies says your CCTV, security systems, computers and laptop services. Laptop service plug. We offer free consultation and lifetime support for any product sold or service and rendered. Please let us know how we can help you. So Tough Smart Technologies. If you need CCTVs, security systems, computer, laptop services, hey, they are your guys, man. So there you go, Sofik. Mileage for being the loyal listener to Joy. Now, folks, we start the way we start. Well, say after me, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the only republic within this republic, the little republic of Akwamu, Edumasa. And I say, thank God it's Monday. And here we are again to perform radio's finest ritual, only on Joy 99.7 FM. On Mondays at this time, set your alarms, set your clocks, and join us, and you would never regret. Our topic today, folks, education with substance and not form. Education with substance and not form. Let us all gather and indeed make truth good. Folks, today I am going to stoke the fires a little bit. I am certainly going to bruise old wounds. So let me take us back to the year 2001. When a brilliant young chap gained admission to Achimota School, but because of his hair locks due to his Rastafarian faith, he was denied until the courts came in. Young Tyrone would not be granted a place at Achimota School because of his locked hair. The school says it did not conform with the rules. Tyrone's father sued the school and the Attorney General that his son's rights were being infringed on. The Attorney General, in response, said Tyrone had no basis of suing the school, as he was not a student yet. He had not yet been admitted. And also, the hairstyle prescribed by the school was constitutional. The school had every right to determine how people should groom themselves and come into their institution. Folks, this matter brought about great division, along with commentary and debate, to admit or not to admit. To admit or not to admit. Even on the floors of Parliament, Tyrone's hair was a subject matter for big debate. The school of thoughts. One said, you can't go into an institution or a school and ask them to change the rules to suit you. There was others who said, no, that's his faith. And beside, what has all the years of shaving students' hair brought us? Folks, this was weeks on end, debating whether Tyrone should be admitted in Achimota or not, whether his hair was appropriate or not. In the end, the High Court said Achimota should admit the young man because the Constitution guaranteed the freedom of faith and worship. And since his hair was part of his faith and his worship, the school must comply. Interestingly, folks, Tyrone went on to score 8 A1s. Brilliant student. And he must have been a model student because we didn't hear of any misbehavior or anything untoward. Now, with his high grades, folks, he was offered scholarship in 2024 to study computer engineering at Pennsylvania University. And there too, folks, he proved himself, made Ghana proud, made his parents proud, and obviously made himself proud. Recently, he made the news again. This time, it was about his ability to build a computer brain on his own. And for those within the industry, it tells you that he must have been very, very sharp to be able to perform or create that at that level where he was. A very great achievement and event indeed. So the age-old question came back again. Is our educational system sacrilegious? Folks, now I know we have been brainwashed to hate our own kinky hair. We don't like it. It's not popular. It's the least on the hair to like kinky hair. Recently, I see a few people, creeping in with their afro and their natural hair look. And I'm talking about our mothers and our sisters, but there's too few. The majority will opt for wigs. But the energy, folks, the energy, and even if its ability to lock is divine. Folks, for the black hair, the energy that it carries and its ability to lock. Now, bear in mind that if you don't have any black blood in you, your hair will never lock. I mean, to have perfect locks, you must have some DNA of black in you. Otherwise, your hair won't lock. Now, that is divine on its own. Now, I am asking, folks, when this issue came up again, can we teach our wards, our children, the art and discipline of hair grooming? Can we teach our children the art and the discipline of hair grooming? Folks, indeed, they had their hair and managed to pass all their exams to gain entry into various public senior high schools. They were plaiting their hair, grooming their hair, keeping their hair, whatever it was. They were able to pass enough to get admission into public senior high schools. So you then wonder, what will happen in the last 3 years of their high school education that their hair would suddenly become a major obstruction? Wabonitia the JSS. After 3 years, no school. What happens in that 3 years that the hair becomes an absolute no-no? What happens that makes the hair an obstruction? Even in their junior years, they managed it. Now that they are seniors and more responsible, what happens? Now, for those who have followed me, you know my position. That in all our education, the energies, the focus, and our fear of not being able to wax English like the Queen seems to be the focus from day one. A for apple, B for ball, A for apple. One can be a unka. And that seems to be more important than the character of the students that we are shaping. And so, we come out in all our dishonesty and everything, but we don't have a problem in waxing English. Folks, it's more important than the character and the students that we are shaping. They can read, calculate, pass exams, but can't show up on time for an interview. Show up at the interview and haven't bothered to even research about the institution with which they are applying to work for. I think this was basic. Somebody who has a whole file of certificates and yet no proper dress sense to even impress an interview panel. Very little ethics and low knowledge of their own culture. And yet this person has been able to go through the grueling schedule of schooling or education. So what was it about all these years? Just the ability to read and to write and to repeat after me? Folks, you see, if you look at the energies and the fights, I mean, if you have wards in schools or if you're affiliated to people in school, and you look at the energies and the focus about go and cut your hair, it's as though they were recruits going into the army. And I feel that the energy spent chasing students and their hair is quite up there. And I feel if we're to devote a little bit of this energy into molding them into cultured human beings, we probably wouldn't have bothered them how their hair looks, because the child himself or herself would know that at this place, this is how I need to present myself. Because if you're dressing for a disco, it's different from if you're dressing for an interview or if you're dressing to meet, somebody in high authority. But you should be able to train a child to be able to make that decision, that I can't appear like this for an interview. I can't appear like this in front of, my seniors. But yes, if I'm going out with my peers and I'm going to have fun, yes, I can present myself differently. Are we not able to mold our children? It looks as though we always choose the easy way out. That's what I think. Now, I know the numbers now are making the discipline a bit of a challenge because the numbers are now huge. So maybe my argument will be flawed because of the numbers. However, even before the numbers, we became overwhelmed with the numbers. We were still chasing haircut and hairstyles and haircut and hairstyles. But if you look at the flip side, the number of children engaged in illicit drugs, the number of children engaged in, terrible vice, then you wonder, what happened? Because we should be able to train the children for them to say, oh, no, I am not at this age, so I don't do this. Oh, no, I'm not at that age, so mean way. We should be able to shape children that way. It is possible. It is 100% possible to groom a child so that the child themselves become aware of their boundaries. But we seem to have a lot of graduates who have definitely passed, but don't seem to have any sense of what boundaries are. And if you look at the percentage of students who are engaged in illicit drugs, you will be shocked. If you look at students, the percentage who are engaged in synthetic, dangerous drugs, and you wonder, yes, by all means you would get a Mensa somewhere. By all means you get the odd one somewhere. But when you're hitting 40, 50, 60% of Mensas, then generally we are doing something wrong. And yes, by all means we shaved all their heads. Until we shaved all their heads. And so here we are, an absolute brilliant chap who believes in his faith of Rastafari, has his locks. And from all the pictures you see, they look like really decent locks. We were ready to just stop his education because of his looks. And then it turns out that he was the one who is going to be the bright star, who they're all going to point out and figure and say, this was my classmate, he was in my school, he was in my mat. Again, I am not saying that everybody should turn up at school with any hairstyle that they want. No. But definitely, asking ladies to braid their hair, cornrow all back so that, they have their hair cornrowed back maybe once a week. I don't know what it is, but definitely, I don't know how difficult it is that you can train that if Amma does the role for Ifia does it for Amma, That discipline that once in a week wash your hair and plait it. Instead of just and this and some of the parents will be fighting with the schools and yet, folks, the general results is that every year the SS saying that the JSS who are coming are not fit for purpose. University are saying the SS people coming are not fit for purpose. The job industry are saying the graduates coming out of university are not fit for purpose, and everybody's complaining. And yet we are here just worried about their hairstyles. But on the flip side, folks, you go to other private schools who are doing extremely well, doing fantastically well, sometimes on international scale, and they have their hair on. So how come their hair did not interrupt with their education? And then as soon as they change from this school to that school, it becomes such a big deal. I am pleading with the educational fraternity that with the speed with which we are moving, it will get to a point where English and all these things that we can speak will not matter anymore. AI would come and, render us all useless. But the upright citizen we shall always need. The empathetic citizen we shall always need. People who know that crime is bad and therefore I shouldn't commit crime, we would always need. So that yes, you will get one or two who are bad, but it should just be the one or two and not the majority. In the advent of AI, let us focus on the empathy, the discipline, the character, the culture, the form of our students. Because A for apple and B for ball will be a thing of the past. I was in Dubai, I think last year or something. This guy gave me a Bluetooth earpiece, and it can translate into so many languages. So you just flick, and whatever the guy is speaking, this Bluetooth earpiece will just translate it into English for you. And I'm thinking, so you go to school, learn all your French, fail, reset everything, and you have just been reduced to a Bluetooth earset. A Bluetooth earset that will translate everything for you. What we need, folks, are cultured human beings. But the jury is still out. The jury is definitely still out. To shave or not to shave. That's a long one. It says, Nana, how are you? Until the act of not shaving of female child hair when they are going to public school becomes an IMF conditionality, forget about any progress. We always miss the chance to change our circumstances. Amazon and some other big firms are laying off workers in their tens of thousands because machines can perform better and more efficiently. We live in a country where for someone to respect you or offer you a privilege, you must drive some expensive car or looks. It's so sad that even the highly educated amongst us are still under mental slavery. Does keeping your hair interfere in the performance of your job? Shouldn't we allow the girl child to choose and keep her hair or shave it? We do not educate us about our own hair to cherish it. Meanwhile, we are promoting females that Caucasian hair are the best. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. It's just like we are following religion blindly. Anthony. Nana Kwesi is on the line. Hello, Nana Kwesi.
Hey, evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Evening. How are you?
I'm very well, my brother.
Yeah. So when I saw the news of what Tyrone has built, I was just asking myself. So we were just going to cut this because of hair and not the substance of the person, but just because he has long hair. We are willing to end his career, end his life in the education way because he has long hair. And this is what we take pride in. And now this will change, but not now. See, right now we have people who are so deep-rooted in the conditioning, heading these institutions. They make the final decision. So, of course, why would they understand? All they know is what they know. They are not open-minded of the sense that we are speaking to this evening. It is what it is for them. But it will change. A time is coming. They won't live forever. They won't head these institutions forever. A time is coming whereby how good or bad I am, how disciplined, how well-mannered I am, won't be determined by how long or short my hair is, whether I'm a male or a female. So we don't have sense than our makeup. Okay, we don't have sense than our makeup. If the hair is what determines how good or bad you are, okay. So thanks for the conversation. As time goes on, it will be better. If you go into even our security services, some institutions, it's the people who go into training. And sometimes I wonder the kind of training that they get. Honestly, they go into training and they come out with still holding on to a stereotype mindset. So when they see you, how you come, it's how sometimes they handle you. Especially if you're a gentleman with long hair, cardia, and they are signed, and people will make the case. Just like you said, we are not saying that they should come to school with any hairstyle. No, if you want to keep your hair, it's quite real simple. Well kept, neat, throughout. You are done after. Nobody is saying, and people are making say, hey, I'm going to the salon. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? But hey, Nana, as time goes on, things will be better. Oh, things will be better. As for the ones who are there right now, there, it is what it is, Nana. I've realized that nothing we will say will make sense to them because they are just stuck in their old ways. Whether it makes sense or not. So let's leave them do what they will do. It will get better, Nana. Whereby we won't be judged by how long or short our hair is going forward. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Now, that's a very long one. This is my brother, Engineer Boache. Nana, let's be careful here. Brilliance should never be a license to break rules. Achimota did not make the rules for dull students and suspend them for brilliant ones. Rules exist to give everyone the same starting line. There's a reason soldiers in training are required to cut their hair to prescribed level and wear uniforms. Discipline begins with conformity to agreed standards. Even the most gifted soldier still salutes. Talent does not cancel structure. Also, we must remember that there were two Rastafarian students involved. Everyone is talking about the one who excelled. Fair enough. But what about the other who did not perform as well? We cannot build national rules around exceptional outcomes. Otherwise, we will soon be running schools by testimonies. Discipline must apply to everyone, not a few, not a select few. Once you begin to say this one is special, You quietly say others are less important. In his junior years, Tyrone attended a private school whose rules permitted dreadlocks, and that was perfectly fine. But Achimota is a public institution with long-standing tradition. Like many mission schools and military academies, when you enter an institution, you don't ask the institution to adjust to you. You decide whether you can live by its rules. Uniforms and haircuts are not about oppression, they are about equality. When students dress alike and look alike, no one is richer, holier, or more important than the other. It levels the ground and builds a shared identity. We can celebrate Tyrone's excellence, and we should, without dismantling discipline. Many thanks to you, my brother. But Shem is on the line. Hello, Shem.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Nana. This is my topic. That is why you called me.
Yes.
The time I was calling, I was telling my wife, hey, today I must make it. And exactly as she said, if we start on from Tyrone, at a point, I even thought there was a rumor about him going to represent the school at the National Science and Maths Meet, and then somewhere the school felt maybe a bit somewhere, so they changed him. But then I think of this. What if he representing Achimota would have made them win? But they would have given them bad press because they would feel like the person we rejected is the one that finally won us the award. And I tell you, that guy would have won the award for me. Our hair serves as antennas. It gives us cosmic wisdom. It gives us so many things. But we back ourselves, like whatever comes to us naturally, we don't really value it. Now, remove your feet right now and stay in the studio. Attempt at grounding yourself, and someone will say you're going crazy. But these are the things that our forefathers did that really aligned us to who we are as human beings. So it is not a matter of indiscipline. If we've been cutting our hair for all these years, and at this rate, just like you said, most youths are in drugs, where is the correlation? Where is the link? Nobody is saying allow the youth to do what they want to do. They should wear their shorts below their knees and females moving cleavage. No. This is about someone's identity. And that is the only thing Africa we've lost. And we are in a race with ourselves to find ourselves right now. That is one thing we've lost. And how did we do it? Of course, we all know religion. Today, walk barefoot. Take water. Pour water on the ground. Say a few things and even call Onyankopon. Someone will tell you you're demonic. Hey! So, you see, it's all about identity. Let us embrace ourselves. Let us stop seeing ourselves like, people no share Christianity, bro. You see, sorry, move any community, move more than 200 meters in any vicinity. Churches are cropping up more than factories. So we are faith-based, but we are not practical-based. How many employees would a church give? So if we are here talking about identity, just like you've always said, allow them. But let us have prescribed hairstyles for them to have. Our females, if they will do it. And do you know how much money is generated, right, from the female industry? It's in billions. And even when you go to India, Obi Musio Oyeguno, and Obi Ediye business. And this is what you are carrying on top of your head. How? At first I used to be angry, but now when I see it, I get sad. I get sad because, in quotes, we are dumb people with smartphones. At least the phone gives us a little bit insight. Let me leave with this. Everybody has not heard of what we call a black mirror. But today everybody carries a black mirror, and that is our phone. Go and watch Snow White. You will see a black mirror inside. In the black mirror was asked the question, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the brightest of them all? Who is the fairest of them all? What did they say? That is why we have our phones today. I dare anybody to leave their phone at home tomorrow and go to work and see whether they will feel complete. They will feel incomplete. So there's nothing actually AI about this world. How can a human being have infinite knowledge and claim a machine that you created is more smarter than you, Nana? Oh, I can go on and on and on and on. Let me cut it here so that someone else can also add. But Nana, we need to find our identity. We need to come back.
Thank you very much.
Astrology and all these things were already in the Bible. Jesus was born, we looked up in the sky, and 3 wise men could look at the star and come. Why can I not use it today? Colors. Joseph was showing a coat of many colors. Today, if you see somebody who wears a certain color and says, oh, let us be practical. Christians as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, I've got a couple of things about the military, but I think it may be unfair to compare the military, discipline to a girls' school discipline. I mean, if you're assigned to the military, you're basically giving your life away. You say, look, I'm going to die for this nation. But if you're coming to school for 3 years, you're just going to upgrade yourself in terms of education and then leave. And I'm just saying that there should be a prescribed cornrow style which would, you can choose that. Look, me, I'll do the cornrow, or me, I can't be bothered. Intimidate me, you see, if you have seen some of the students and the teachers, it is bordering on ahoyabi. So then it becomes a hatred where the kid just hates the school for 3 years before they leave, or because of, your hair is, a bit too long, and your hair is this and your hair is that. And we all know that women in particular, cherish their hair, and they should. And so they should. And I'm saying, if from class 1, nursery, all the way to JSS 3, you were able to score all your A's to come into a school, what then happens within these 3 years that this same person now, if you keep this hair, we should be able to draw. I'm not saying, change everything or bring your own rules to the school or something like that. But like Shem says, we are blacks and we are talking about our identity. There should be a conformed way, prescribed way of us keeping our hair and identity and studying at the same time. And I'm saying that the energy should be more towards the characters that we are bringing out of the school. But Rookie is on the line. Hello, Rookie.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, Rookie.
Nana. In a country where we are still struggling, we founded before the apostrophe S, or founded after the S is an apostrophe. Why won't you do the state? In our current dispensation, as a country, we don't even know our identity. We are so confused. We major in the mind. And if it's too difficult because we have neglected it, but not it's if right from infancy we can nurture our children, whether boy child or girl child, on how to cater and care for their hair, they shouldn't even be the conversation we should be having. And then look at the other private schools. They have their hair kept. Yet, they progress. The children come out excellent. And we claim we are public institutions, so we need to follow rules. Now, the only thing constant in this world is change. But as Ghanaians, we are always scared of it. We want things to be static because we don't want to accept change. That's why we are the way we are. We always want to take the glory, but in the process of the glory, no, we don't want to be a part of it. So it's sad. I'm just hoping that those who help bring this change are listening, because it's high time we go beyond the hair and every other thing and seek to build morals in our children, because the country is getting rotten. We've lost our sense of humanity from adults, and we are passing it on to our children, and yet we are not thinking about that. Look at our costumes, so they put on their head. Even that, we have accepted that. That has been accepted. But here we are, thinking of 3 years education, but the child needs to have it because they are going to public institution before this. And I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ricky. But let me state again that I am not saying that anybody should go into an institution with their own rules. I'm just saying that as black people, as black, female students with an identity, I am sure that the school can prescribe some sort of cornrow, neat cornrow, and teach them the art of grooming. Teach them the art of grooming. Because, sometimes when somebody's kept their hair from child all the way till, what age you go to SH? About, 15, 16. It becomes so personal and attached, and that's the person's identity. And all of a sudden, because of a 3-year shot or 3-year lease of life, shave it all off. After 3 years, start growing it again. I'm sure we can find something. We can find... this was a good evening and a great presentation. Academic excellence is built on personal discipline. All relevant stakeholders, parents, teachers, policymakers, among others, should all be committed to excellence in personal discipline. This is from Edmond Awite. And I feel that's what is really missing. I feel that's what is really, really missing. Where we are not imbibing a lot of discipline in our children. We're just teaching them how to read. I mean, somebody will be 3, 4, 5 years, and the homework they bring home. I tell you what, I went to my child's school and I told the teachers, in Pacho, it looks like you're passing over your work to me. The child has been here from 7 to 3 o'clock. You know what I say? My homework, kindergarten. You bring him all this homework. I think you could not teach her. Yes, I don't mind some painting or some reading, fine. I find science, maths, this. Jesus, the child is in kindergarten. Honestly, I went to the teacher and said, Teacher Pacho, if it's not some painting and some reading, I don't want to see any homework. Between the hours of 7 and 3 o'clock, you should be able to teach this girl and do whatever it is. And then you come and tell me to pay all these school fees on top of that. No way. And I think we're putting so much pressure on children. Can you read? Can you add up? Can you subtract? But what about lying is not good? What about a child coming to school and knowing that we need to clean the classroom before the teacher comes? We need to, tidy up before the teacher comes. After school, we need to, have some chores. We pay all this money. Can't you teach our children that between the hours of 7 and 7:15 before the teacher comes, maybe today I'm the one to clean the board, this guy to tidy the, something. Teach the children something. Yes, they can speak English. Sometimes, so that is fine. But what about the rest? So I think that's where my argument is coming from, that our focus and our discipline is just based on some rather than bringing out people who are well disciplined, who can make proper decisions. So that yes, when the 1 or 2 be miss out, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Hi, Nana. It says, this issue you are making us look at is very, very serious. Where do we draw the line of conformity and rights? I am with you on the point of where our children can stand to their ground and say, I did what Joseph did in the Bible, said to the wife of Potiphar, who gave him an open check to have an affair with her, but Joseph stood his morals and says, I will not do this. It's a sin against God. It's all about family upbringing until we come to this stand on corruption and malfeasance act facing our society will be as it is. Francis in Accra says, good evening, Nana. Can you advise parents and students to go by the rules of institutions so that we build a better future for the future of our dear country, Ghana? Thanks, from Uncle Dan in Amrehia. Nana, please, the military people are even referring to they force the females to cut their hair. Maybe if they plait their hair, they may look more beautiful, and the male teachers will take advantage. Just thinking aloud, citizen. Well, on the downside of life. Hello, and 1 minute rounding up for me. Who am I talking to?
Yes, we are talking to
Let me hear you.
Yes, I stand with your position. I think the education service should give the students the privilege to have a head, at least 3 heads that has the head is okay. To listen follow the dreadlocks, and if you want to cut your hair, then you cut your hair. You know, when they do that, they will train them and they will still the African culture in them. You know, sometimes you see even TV stations, presenters, you know, presenting their hair like white, which is brainwashing, and it's not helping. So I think children nowadays they should give them the privilege to grow their hair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much because of the time. But as I said, the downside of life, the 1 week observation of the late Mrs. Georgina Baini, mother of Francis Baini, aka Okpodovi, CEO of Imperial Homes. This Wednesday, 4th of February 2026, and it will be at the house number 1 Aliu Mahama Street, Sakaman, South Odoko, from 9 a.m. Let us all meet and mourn with those who mourn. This is Georgina Baini, mother of the late mother of Francis Baini, CEO, Imperial Homes. This Wednesday, 4th of February, 9 a.m., number 1 Aliu Mahama Street, Sakaman, South Odoko. Let's all be there and mourn with those who mourn. International producers Ziggy and Oliver were on the ones and twos. Kofi Hayford is lined up. Loris is all poised up for your news bulletin. Don't you even touch that dial.